Welcome to Flash 5, where we'll be unboxing the NearStream VM33, and we'll be asking one question: can you make money with the NearStream VM33? Stay tuned. What's really good? My name is Ty, and if this is your first time on this channel is about understanding the business side of content creation. And often we like to talk about products. And today we got a product that NearStream provided to me to do this review. Now, let me be 100 with you. If it's trash, I'm going to say it's trash. In fact, there are some things I don't like about this product, and we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about the good. But first, let's do an unboxing while we talk about what the features are on this particular camera. Now, pricing may fluctuate. At the time of the video, these are $399. They do run sales, so check the link below to get the most updated price on this particular item. Now, as we unbox this item, I want to talk about key features that this camera provides for that price. So let's go over a few features that you will get with a camera like this. Technically, it's a 1080p camera, right? It offers internal recording of 1440, and that's cool. I don't think that you will use it a lot. I think 1080p is where you will stay with something like this. Now, they do have a 4K version, and I think that if you're looking to purchase a group of cameras, I like the 4K version, but not really for the 4K. We'll talk about why I like the 4K version a little bit later. But the key features for a camera like this includes a 40x hybrid zoom. Now, that's 10x optical and then a 4x digital. Of course, you can stream in 1080p, and the software that comes with it that I'm using right now supports multiple cameras at the same time. In fact, I'm using it right now to kind of give you guys a demo of what it's like to use this software. Now, it says that you can connect up to 3 cameras. I've been able to connect 4, so I don't know if there's a latency issue once you go over 3 or what, but I've connected 4. I would suggest staying within the area of 3 if you're doing something professional, because that's what they suggest. It has up to 8 built-in mics on the top with built-in noise canceling. I want to mention this because this is something they promote, but as you know, any professional will never use onboard microphones. It's great for me to capture ambient sound and atmosphere sound if I'm recording a live event, but I personally would never use them for talking. In fact, here's a sample of what they sound like, and we'll use that's closest to me, which I'm gonna go to this camera. I'm using it right now. It's kind of my product camera, but that's the closest camera to me, so I'll use the audio for that to give you an example of what it's like. Let me go back to my main cam here. Boom. Okay, that microphone also includes some noise cancellation features. On the back of the device, you have a 35mm jack, which is what I would use for audio. I'd use something like the Rode Wireless Go setup or any other mic that you want to pump into the back. That way you can get really good audio. You also have your USB port back here. You can use this as a direct camera feed to your computer. So you can plug a USB cable in it and your computer will notice it kind of as a webcam. So if you're using Ecamm or OBS or any software you want to use with the computer, then you can do that hardwired. Now, we're going to talk about that a lot in a minute, because I think that without that feature, we'd have some major problems. But we're going to talk about that a little bit later in the video. You also have your port in the back for your mini or micro SD card so that you can record all of your content on the card. Now, the app also let you record your content directly on your cell phone or tablet or whatever you are switching with. So you'll have a backup data source for both. This USB port is also used to charge the device. This battery that's built into this device gives you 8 hours of recording time. Really, it's 8 hours of standby time. From what I've tested, I've gotten about 6 hours of recording time, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's dope for something this size. And if you're doing a lot of events and you want to just set these up, I mean, how many events are you going to have that's over 8 hours? And if they are, then get you a battery bank, plug that bad boy into it, and you're good to go. Now, the key feature of this device, and the reason why I would suggest a device like this, is the built-in NDI feature. Now, if you don't know what NDI is sort of the industry standard for wireless cameras. It allows other apps or other things to work with this camera because it has NDI built into it. So the way it works is it connects to a Wi-Fi, and any camera that's NDI, whatever software or tool you're using can pull from that camera feed, and everything can work together without you typing in IP addresses and all of that crap. I mean, that's cool, but NDI makes it very easy, and usually there is a $79 or a $99 upgrade fee when you buy certain cameras. Let's say the camera came out and they never included the licensing fee. It's included in the cost of the camera at the time of this video. So I think that's important and something that you should think about when considering something like this, because I think this camera lives in a unique space for streamers. We're going to touch on the pros and cons to devices like this. Now, as I record this video, I'm going to jump back and forth between this video and the camera. Now, I'm recording this on my A7S III as well as using one of the cameras because I want you to get an idea of the camera performance next to something like an A7S III. Now listen, it's not going to outshoot an A7S III. We all know that, but it holds its own. There are some things that I'm not too crazy about, and usually next I would start with the pros, but we're gonna start with the cons because we need to get the cons out the way, and then we need to focus on the pros because there are some big cons when working with this camera. Let me start by saying that the software for this device sucks big time. It's a no-go for me, and I think it's unusable for professionals that are looking to live stream events for clients professionally. If you got a home studio and you're doing a few things, cool, but it's not on par with just it's not on par with a lot of stuff out here. It's just bad. Like, let's be honest, and let's just talk about it real quick. Okay, so I'm using my camera, I'm switching to my overhead so you can see it, so you should have a shot of the overhead on the overhead. And there are some things that I think is just unacceptable. One, let's talk about the zoom sensitivity, right? For me to zoom in with my camera, it should be something here to make it easy for me to zoom in, but it's not. I gotta go to settings, I gotta go to image adjustment, and then it took me forever to find out how to zoom because nothing on the screen says zoom. It took me forever to figure it out. And then finally, I noticed this, right? But what sucks about this is it zooms way too much. I think that they need to understand that people may use a moderate zoom way more than just, 100x. Like, we may need just a little bit of zoom. And I feel like this device is very difficult to control. So let me give you an example. Let me say I just want to go to 2, right? 2 is like a lot. That's like 1x. There's no in between. I can't go in between 1 or 2. I think that 2 things should happen. 1, you should have the ability to cut off digital zoom. And 2, you should have the ability to have, 30 steps of the optical zoom before you get to the digital zoom. And I feel like you don't. I feel like you may have 4. I think at 4, that may be it. I think anything after that is maybe digital. Maybe it's a little bit more. Don't get me wrong, if you're doing this for sports, I think it's perfect, and we got what we like to call the Rodney shot. I think if you're using this for sports, it's perfect, but like, I still got 40 more to go. Like, what is 40x? You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to zoom in that crazy in most cases. And it's focusing on my ear. I could see chin hairs. I like that. But what I would like from the company, make the first 20 all optical zoom. Give me more range in the optical zoom because I'm gonna use that more. And if I just, like right now, you can see some of the edges of the scene. I can't go in a little bit just to cut that off. That's a lot. I want half that. You know what I mean? I want half that. The next con is the white balance, right? So the white balance is just a number, right? 44. Like, what is that? Is that 4,400 Kelvin? I would like to know the Kelvin temperature with the white balance. I am a photographer, videographer. I want to know that. I don't want to set it to 44, 45, whatever. And the thing that's good is that you can set manual white balance so that I can get all of my cameras synced to the same white balance, which I've done here. They're all on 44. That's cool. I like the mirror, the flip, and the things like that, so you can change. The filters are of no use. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, and don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking it. It's a beginner tool. Beginners use this. They use filters like this. Professionals do it in post-production. They don't do it here. So there are certain things you can do like black and white, but look how long it takes to get it. And I feel like the camera is almost resetting to provide a black and white picture. So it's just things like that. Let's go back to linear that I almost got to wait on the camera. If I'm in the middle of something or need it done quick, I'm afraid it won't be done quick. So manual focus, you can kind of dial it in and things like that. And I like that. I would like a scroll bar like that for my focus, if possible, to kind of scroll with it. But autofocus is pretty decent. The HDR is pretty decent. Now, the thing I don't like about it is that it's portrait only. I want to do landscape. I'm using this on the iPad. Even on my iPhone, I want to do landscape. I don't want to do portrait. So I don't like that. Like, let me flip it. Another thing too is right now I'm recording. I don't even know. There's nothing telling me you're recording until I hit the record and it's asking me, do I want to end? No, cancel, I don't want to end. It should be telling me that we're live right now. We're recording right now. Nothing says we're recording. None of the cameras blink red. There's no red light indicating that I am recording. And there should be something telling me that I am recording. We are recording right now. There is nothing. I don't know. I could be recording and not know. Now I've cut, they do come with a green indicator light that I've cut off, which you can do for each camera. Cut them off because I don't want that green indicator light blinking. I don't want it reflecting off anything because it's pretty bright. The thing that I do love is you can connect it to the Wi-Fi. You can give it your own password. My NDI mode is off right now. I can cut that on. You can choose how you want to record to the SD card. Auto turn off, auto turn on. It gives you some great things here, but again, I like the capability of the camera. I think the software holds it back. The best thing they did was allowing you to use these cameras with different software. That is the best thing about these cameras, because I feel like they have the hardware. The weakness is the software. So let's go over the pros of this camera. Now, like I said, usually I would start with pros, I would go to cons. There are some major things that hold this camera back, but there are some great things about this camera. First things first, I like the image quality. I think it's a little sharp. I wish that I can control the onboard sharpness sensitivity. I would love to see that in the future firmware update, but I think the image quality for that price point is fairly decent. The dynamic range is fairly decent. The ability to offer HDR is more than doable at that price point. I don't really see other options available that offer a zoom, a built-in battery, and everything is, all in one. I wish it did offer a weather rating. I don't know if I can take this out in the rain or not. I don't know if I can take it out to cover a humid, damp game. I don't know what the capabilities are as far as moisture. I would love to know that from the manufacturer. But I think it's a great all-in-one solution for those who are looking to live stream. You're looking to just power something up, cut it on, point it in the right direction and start switching. I love that the autofocus detects faces. I wish that I can go into software and click on a face and lock on. I would love for that to be a possibility, but for what I have now at this price point, you can't beat it. These cameras perform well outdoors. They're decent in low light, and I think you got to keep this in mind for the price. Like what's comparable for this? At this price point, the only thing that's comparable maybe is a GoPro, maybe an Osmo. You don't want to live stream with those. An Osmo maybe, but you don't want to set up multiple Osmos because you can't connect to them wirelessly and switch. Most times you're streaming in 1080p, so these are good enough. The reason I like the 4K version, and the only reason I like the 4K version, is that they come with an HDMI port in the back. So I can connect 4 of these and hardwire them into something like my YOLO box or whatever. Now, to some people that's a problem, to most is not, because you got NDI. It's wireless. It's giving you all the capabilities of a hardwire, but wireless. So I think that you'll be fine. You can live without it. And at this price point, you can't beat it. You get 3 of these and something to switch with, even if you got a laptop. Like you can use a laptop and use Ecamm or OBS. They will pick up this device on your Wi-Fi network because they're NDI, and you can start switching from your laptop. I would highly suggest you use something like that because the features of the app are just not there. Like you can fade between shots and things like that. You can add pictures. You can monitor the audio to see what feeds you want to get audio from. I can mute an audio feed. You can do things like that, but I don't feel like it's not up to par with the regular first YOLO box, let alone the YOLO box Ultra. And sit tight, make sure you subscribe, because we got some stuff coming up with this device and that device, which we'll be releasing at a later time. But I want to make sure that if you get into something like this, you are aware as to what you're getting your hands on. And let me say, I like the device. So let's talk about who this device is for. This device is for streamers, of course, from low to high. I think that they have a place in a high level streaming situation because they offer NDI, because they offer optical zoom. I think it handles light and color well for the price. I don't know what else you can get for this price point that can compete with something like this. Keep in mind, built-in 8 hours of battery life. You can run your DJI Rode to the back of one and record directly to that. So I think that there is a place for a device like this. You're not going to replace a Ursa with these, but you can replace a lot of camera with these. You can be a one-man band and go set up and charge people for quality live streaming with these devices. So let's talk about the benefit to the client. Like I said, these devices are cheap enough and offer enough quality where you can provide a quality 3-camera setup that fit in one case at a cheaper price. Up next, final thoughts. Listen, I am pretty hard on gear. I am pretty hard on what camera manufacturers put out. And this is a company many of you have not heard of. And I like to take chances with those companies because a lot of times those companies give you more for your money. I think for what this offers for the price, it's a really good deal for those who want to offer live streaming to yourself or to your client. There are areas that I wish I had a little more control, such as sharpness and having a Kelvin amount when it comes to light temperature, but those are things that can be updated with a firmware, and I'm sure they're probably getting advice from other creatives like myself, and that's something that they may be working on. I think that these are definitely worth having if you are looking to stream and you don't want to set up 4 Sonys or 4 Canons. You don't want to run all that stuff. Now, if you are a member at Flash Film Academy, on the member side of things, we're going to go a little deeper into this product. We're going to talk about how you should be selling this to your client, how you should be using it as an upsell, and what you should be doing specifically to make money once you've purchased these devices. These are the type of devices that should pay for themselves with the first job. And I think that if you're going into live streaming or you're currently doing it, these are great devices to have as compared to the cost of putting 3 A7S3s. You know, you can get, I want to say, 8 of these for the price of one A7S3. So I love my A7S3. I love my high-end cameras, but for what a lot of you guys are doing, this is more than enough. There are little things I would love to see changed with the software. You got ports on the bottom so you can mount it anywhere. I mean, I got one overhead that I'm using for this shot right now that I love. I can use it and it's perfect for, you know, what I'm doing, and it allowed me to have my standing setup over here while still having another setup other places. So I think that if you're in the market for cameras specifically for the purpose of live streaming, I think NearStream offer a pretty good product at its price point. And I got to keep saying that because there's always something better. There's always better image quality. There's always better low light performance. There's always better, but at what price? $399. If I got to choose between this and the GoPro, I'm taking this, period. GoPro don't got 6 hours of battery life. GoPro don't have the focusing capabilities that this have. It don't have the optical zoom. It's not this, you know what I'm saying? It's not designed to work with software. It's not NDI compatible. So there's a lot of reasons why I'm choosing this over other items in this price point. And I think that the more you learn about it, if you're in that space, you will understand that this may be the right product for you. It's up to you. Link is down below. It will be an affiliate link, but I like to make sure I give you guys my honest feedback. And I've been using these for about a month and a half before I created this video because I wanted to get some experience with it. So as always, I'm going to ask that you be inspired, be creative, be profitable. Flash Film Academy members, we got some talking to do. Let's do it.